Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do our March the 2nd just for today in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. Let's see what we have here. The title of the meditation for today is Success. Any form of success was frightening and unfamiliar. That comes from the basic text, page 14. Before coming to NA, few of us had much experience with success. Every attempt to stop using on our own had ended in failure. We had begun to give up hope of finding any relief from active addiction. We had grown accustomed to failure, expecting it, accepting it, thinking it was just a part of our makeup. When we stay clean, we begin to experience success in our lives. We begin to take pride in our accomplishments. We start to take healthy risk. We may take some knocks in the process, but even these can be counted as successes if we learn from them. Sometimes when we fulfill a goal, we hesitate to pat ourselves on the back for fear that we will seem arrogant. But our higher power wants us to succeed and wants us to share with our loved ones the pride we take in our accomplishments. When we share our successes with others in NA, they often begin to believe that they can achieve their goals as well. When we succeed, we help lay the groundwork for others who follow in our path. Just for today, I will take time to savor my successes. I will share my victories with an attitude of gratitude. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Well, good morning to you. We're talking about success today. And I know that success is something that is deeply personal. Everyone has their own definition, I believe, of success. I wonder if success is something that has to have a goal to begin with. Like, are you unsuccessful if you don't have goals, but you attain certain things anyway? You know, those new possibilities, right? And lost dreams awakening. Some of those things, maybe you never had a goal for and you attained them. Wouldn't that be successful? And what about the ones where you do have a goal? And let's flip it and just say you don't attain the goals that you have, then that would be technically considered a failure, right? People don't like that word. I know that. Failure. Because that's what we really felt most of our lives. We felt like failures. And a big piece of that for me would be, active addiction. There were a lot of things I wanted to do. It's amazing to me that I'm this age and attaining the degrees that I have at this point and stage in my life. Is successful because I always had the desire to do it. I've attained it. I just didn't plan to be almost 60 doing it, and so depending on what day it is and how I'm feeling, I might look at it as a glass that's half empty. How much more could I have accomplished had I started earlier instead of having started using earlier, right? So I can look at it as a glass half full. At least I attained it, right? I attained the goal for the most part, still need this doctorate, right? So that's successful. I was just wondering, it makes me think because me personally, when I read this, it's kind of sets off some kind of warning system inside of me, um, talking about uh, the word failure, right? It sets something off in me because I can think in so many terms that there's so many goals I set and I didn't get them done. And I can relate to that word, but I don't use it often. And I wouldn't advise that you use it often either. It's not a term that is deep in my vocabulary. I'd rather look at it as attempts that didn't work out the way that I wanted them to. You can call those failures, but it's something about that word that just rubs me personally the wrong way. But I love the word success. I love the word being successful. I love the word or terminology lessons learned. I love that. And so, what we have to do, I think, in recovery is be more mindful and more intentional about the terms we use and the words we use and how we're self-descript, right? What terminology are we using to describe ourselves? What automatic negative thoughts are there? And maybe we never verbalize and no one ever hears, but we think about them in terms of who we are. And I believe that it's important for me to change that, flip the script in a sense. I need to take those negative terms and switch them around into what positive thing comes out of that. Turn them around to the cup being half full rather than empty. And use that to motivate myself to do better, to do more, to try one more time. How about this one? How about this one? If you're there listening, how about for once, let another human being in and bounce your thoughts off of them and get some feedback and accept the feedback as constructive criticism or suggestions, right? How about actually calling your sponsor and running an ideal that you might have about a business plan or anything, for goodness sakes, right? Run it by them and see how they respond before you actually jump out there and do something, self-willing things. And then when they don't work out, you beat yourself up about them. Turn the butt kicking machine off. I know you've heard that before. Go ahead and turn that off and give yourself room and space to grow, right? And remember that when we are successful, what's so wrong about celebrating the successes? I mean, we pity party in the failures all the time, don't we? What's so wrong about the positive things that we're accomplishing and acknowledging them and sharing them and allowing them to be like a catalyst of hope for other individuals? What's wrong with that? We've come up in an age where that's considered arrogant to boast about all the things that you've done. I was thinking about this because I'm getting my counseling office set up the way I wanted, and I was thinking about this. I looked at all of the offices that are in the building that we all share and pay for, right? I was looking and I looked at every single office to see what type of layout, what type of footage they had in their office and what they did to use the space wisely and make it their own. And I can remember when we were all moving from the old building into the new building. And I can remember one of the doctors, see, not even, a licensed professional counselor. This gentleman has gone past that and got his doctorate in counseling. And I can remember him asking about four of us, 3 or 4 of us. I can't remember how many were actually in the lunchroom at the time that he posed this question, but I can remember the level of humility that I thought in my mind. I said, oh, this man is humble. Here is a doctor asking all of us, not even secretly, how you pull someone aside and you want to have a conversation with them. You just don't want everybody to hear the question because you kind of feel stupid asking. No, 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 no. He trusted that we were invested in him and cared about him and would listen and have a dialogue with him. And he came and you know what he asked? What do you guys think about putting all of the degrees that led up to my doctorate on the wall? Is that bragging? Is that arrogant of me to want to have those? Because my parents, imagine he's my age and his parents are still giving him suggestions, pouring into his life. My parents want me to put them all on the wall. And I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's arrogant? One person said, downsize and make it more like, a large frame with all of them in there. Another person said that I like that idea, but don't downsize them too much. Stack them in order and put them each in their individual frame because they represent space and time and energy and money at different points of your life. Put them all on the wall. Another person said, I just put my license up. I have a license. They should know they know all of what went into getting that. I don't put my, degrees up. And then it came to my turn. What do you think I said? What do you think I said? That's a question. I guess it's rhetorical because it's a podcast, right? I'm sitting here really waiting for you to answer me. Okay, listen. Let me sip that coffee real quick, okay? So this is what I said. I said, your parents are so proud of you. They're looking at who their son has become, and they want to celebrate you. And I think it's quite all right to celebrate their love for you and celebrate all that you put them through. All of the stress, all of the times they had to run you to the ER, all of the times you were sick and they needed to work. I think it's okay to celebrate their love and their hard work and investment in you, and celebrate whether it's large or small, your accomplishments. Because as you know, getting a master's all by itself is very, very hard. But to get a doctorate, to defend your dissertation, and come out on the other side with a doctorate, yes, celebrate your successes. That's what I told him. And in that moment, I realized that he gave me hope to move forward with the things that I desire to do, the things that I consider successful. And so today, what I'm saying, right, I'll wrap this up for you, is when you have successes, I don't care how many, quote unquote, unsuccessful attempts you've had. I don't even care about that. When you have a success, and there probably will be many now that you're clean, but when you have one, and I mean one, whatever it is, you share that with someone else. Get to a meeting, and when it's your turn to share, say, I just want to let everyone know I got that GED, or I passed that math class. I nailed English. I got the job. I got the promotion. Paid that bill off. I actually showed up on time for my visitation and had a good time with my kids. I didn't make it about me. I didn't try to apologize the whole time I was with them. I let them be children, and I had a great time with them. The look in my kids' eyes when I actually showed up, I just want to let someone know. When we were using drugs, we did a lot of stuff. And now that we were clean, we can be successful parents. And that's what we need to focus on. Be the hope, be the catalyst of hope for someone else today, right? Even if you feel awkward like I do sometimes, talking about this success, I still haven't had a graduation party. I just kind of thought that's something that somebody else should throw. Why would you throw your own graduation party? I thought that was arrogant. But you know what? About a whole month later, one of my girls that I grew up with, she threw her own graduation party, right? And had a ball. Celebrate your successes. Be a catalyst of hope for someone else today. Savor those successes. Share your victories with an attitude of gratitude. Don't dummy them down. Yeah, don't diminish them. Don't make them less than. That imposter syndrome, let that go. This is the new and improved version of you. And that, my friends, is worth celebrating, you know? So I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I know that you will. I intend to. I intend to be very intentional about it because I feel like I deserve it. And I think you deserve it too. Talk to you tomorrow.